What's up, you guys? With crypto mainstreaming into real estate and more, Tron TRX and Bittorrent BTT are in for a treat. Things are going to improve. Now, before I get into it, if you're new to the channel, don't be an asparagus. Hit the bell for me. Subscribe. Hit the like button, please. Help me out with the algorithm. I want the channel to become popular, and if it does, and if you contribute to this, I guarantee you, you guys will benefit from the kind of excitement you're not expecting from a YouTube channel. Now, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. I appreciate you very, very much. Crypto of the day, Bittorrent. This was an article put up about 6 days ago. You don't see this often, but I'm going to talk about it because it makes some good points, and it was Yahoo Finance, which is not some kind of Yahoo writing a news story, right? So part of the mainstreaming, more to come. There are a lot of tie-ins that when all these things happen, which I'll talk about in the video, you're going to notice that Tron and Bittorrent are going to do what you want it to do. All right, so since the rise of the internet, there's always been a way to download copyrighted files, even though it might be illegal. And by the way, we're going to blast through and do a little bit of a different kind of video. We're going to zip through the news for, it's August 2nd, 2021. It's currently right now 9:18 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will post this video today, probably within an hour of actually recording it. So, Ethereum price can hit 14K if the March 2020 chart fractal holds. I'm going to get into why I don't think this is going to happen, but if it does, it's massive for Tron's price action, in my opinion, and I'll get into why in a minute. This will also be, as the payment processors build out their assets, this will basically fill up spots that need to be filled, and as this mainstreaming occurs, it will help Tron, Bittorrent, and altcoins see some higher price action because of the mainstreaming that's involved. We got brand executive posts discounted Utah home listing for Doge. That's right. And you know what that means? If this happens, Doge is not going to be the only coin used or accepted for real estate and other things. There's a lot more to come. So these things are precursors. They're showing you, in my opinion, you can get in on the cheap right now, because even though there's always a time to buy cheaper because it's a new industry, so you could have a better price come in the not too distant future. However, I don't think that's the case, and I think that it's a huge opportunity to pick up some Tron and Bittorrent right now because of all these converging situations that are occurring. So I'm going to get back to, and then we'll cycle back to the news from today. So crypto of the day. Since the rise of the internet, there's always been a way to download copyrighted files, even though it might be illegal. Bittorrent is a peer-to-peer file sharing platform that hosts a censorless market for any individual to post downloadable files. Now, I know most of you understand what Bittorrent is, but it's important to see the mainstreaming of how it's being portrayed right now, and how a really recent new article from Yahoo, who is no chimpanzee, is trying to project some type of image, impression, information out to the masses that maybe potentially, not potentially, a lot of people don't even know about Bittorrent, right? So it's good for the coin. Good exposure. That might sound like a streaming service's arch nemesis, but Bittorrent is actually used by some of the biggest file sharing websites like Netflix, Google, and Facebook. As I've said in several of my previous articles, which I think a lot of you did not know, that Bittorrent does use, is used by big Goliaths like the Netflix, Googles, and Facebooks. So what is Bittorrent? Bittorrent is a popular peer-to-peer file sharing platform used by everyone from independent films trying to pick up a distributor to companies that need to send or synchronize larger files worldwide. So some of you will ask me, and before you do, well then why don't they publicize this more, and why isn't the marketing more aggressive? Because Bittorrent's not ready yet to blast off in terms of ease of use and user fun and flexibility, and those things are needed, and they will happen. Comment down below if you don't agree with me. Comment if you do agree with me. I will be answering all the posts that make sense. If you're trolling, I'm not going to answer. If you write something insane, it's got to be insane in a good way, not something that is, a complete and not that people's opinions don't matter and all this stuff. So before you guys get the politically the politically correct army to collect on me, understand that I'm looking for comments that are intelligent. Even if they don't agree with me, that's fine, but you can't write things like, BitTorrent's going to, go to zero because it sucks, or, it's going to go to $89 a coin because it's awesome and nobody else can make something as awesome. I mean, you know what I mean, right? Okay. The BitTorrent file sharing service has been around since 2001. After the Tron blockchain network bought BitTorrent a few years back, the BTT token was created to support paid services on the file sharing platform. BTT is one of the biggest TRC10 tokens on the Tron network, secured through Tron's delegated proof of stake protocol. Incorporating the BTT token in the file sharing platform has gained the project a lot of money and new areas for development. So, BitTorrent is up 21% in 24 hours. Again, this is an article from about 6 days ago. I'm going to just fly down here. You can go to Yahoo. You see the whole URL here. You can go there if you want to see the whole entire article. I am not going to go through the whole entire article, but in short, this is a good sign that, Yahoo is pumping out a relatively positive article for BitTorrent. And obviously, they're one and the same. So when I talk about Tron and BitTorrent, or BitTorrent and Tron, if I don't talk about one but I talk about the other, it immediately should not be perceived that I am not talking about the other. In other words, if I talk about Tron, if I don't think what I'm talking about is going to affect BitTorrent, I will say it. If I don't say anything, it means that what I'm talking about with Tron will be a plus or somehow affect BitTorrent and vice versa, so that you guys know when you're watching the video. So now let's pump into, so what am I saying about Ethereum here? Why, what I want or what I say, which I don't believe is going to happen, by the way. I think, like I said, it'll have a hard time holding the 2G notes, $2,000 a coin. But anyway, for the short term, because it's a competitor, and it looks good if a competitor can, zip up big time, just like when, and again, perception is big. So BTC is viewed as a competitor. Ethereum is also viewed as a, second to BTC. And when BTC moves, usually at some point, if it's not instantaneous, it causes a big bump like it did in the past, in the not too backdated past, basically within the last year. You could see the swings of BTC have helped. Obviously not as big price-wise per se, but have helped Ethereum. And I believe Ethereum will help Tron, which in turn Tron TRX will help BitTorrent too, if it actually does a moonshot and explodes. I don't think that'll happen. I think there'll be other catalysts that help Tron and BitTorrent, but this could be potentially one of them. And you can check that out on Cointelegraph if you like. We have Square to acquire Australian fintech Afterpay and $29 billion deal. We got Jack Dorsey, cryptocurrency-friendly digital payments firm Square is expanding competition with global payments giants like PayPal by acquiring a major Australian lending company. So the faster, how do I explain this? The faster that payment companies expand, the quicker they will accept more altcoins, because once they become secure, once their infrastructure, all the quirks basically and bugs are ironed out, there's only so much BTC and Ether and maybe Litecoin that can just support a whole network. They will want transactional volume. So as long as they can deem that a coin is not a scam, I believe in time, in the not too distant future, you will have many dozens of coins being used in this way on these payment networks, including PayPal's app being huge, that's coming out, huge user base. The ease of use, the mainstreaming, this will help Tron and BitTorrent to expand, and its price will follow suit. Now let's see. Brand executive posts discounted Utah home listing for Dogecoin. So I guess a house is going to be sold for Doge, and this is one of the articles I did read in advance a little bit, which I typically don't do because I like the videos to be as off the cuff as possible. However, I think he was saying you'll save 10% if you buy the house, the listing he has in Doge. I could be wrong. I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm showing you where it is because it's an interesting one. It's part of the mainstreaming, and you want to see a lot of this happening if you want to see Tron and BitTorrent's price action, like everything else, start to go north. So this is another Cointelegraph article, and that's today's Summary, we flew through the BTT article in part. I mentioned to you guys the Dogecoin real estate mainstreaming. We went over why Square is interesting for Bittorrent and Tron, and why Ethereum exploding could also be interesting as well. As usual, I hope this finds you healthy, happy, and I will see you on the next video.